About halfway up the mountain, and it turns out that Eric popped his tires. Hey guys, so a couple weeks ago I went to Pai and I have a, oh man, I spit on the lens. Hey guys, so a couple weeks ago I went to Pai, which is one of the most fun trips I've had coming to Thailand. I want to give you guys some tips on transportation, safety, and what to do when you get there. So there's a couple ways you can get there. You can take a plane, you can take a motorbike, or you can even take one of the minibuses. Now I rented a motorbike slash scooter, but I'll get to that in a second. I haven't really done much research on flight costs, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. What I've heard is it ranging around 2,000 baht, which is roughly $60. I did look into minibuses and it's about 150 baht for a one-way trip there, which isn't too bad at all. But I hear stories about people getting sick in the car due to all the turns. There's hundreds and hundreds of sharp turns all the way up the mountain to Pai. So the questions with scooters is, do you want to grab a 150cc bike or do you want to grab a 125cc bike? The 125cc bikes can absolutely make it. I recommend not having a passenger though. It will struggle at some points, but honestly, you're not going to be flying through this place. So a 125cc bike is more than enough. I personally took the 150cc bike because I just wanted something with a little bit more speed and power so I didn't have to struggle so much up the mountain. So for those of you who are taking a scooter or motorbike, I do want to give you guys some safety tips. First tip, you should really be experienced on motorbikes or motorcycles before you decide to take the ride to Pai. You really should be comfortable with leaning on a bike because you're going to be doing a lot of that on your way up the mountain. And the last thing you want to do is to ride into oncoming traffic while trying to turn. There was a person in my group, I won't say his name, Keon, who wasn't really confident in his turns. So when we came to a really sharp turn, he wasn't able to lean down further enough to make that turn. So he ended up driving into oncoming traffic. And this happened multiple times. And it's really scary watching your friend drive onto oncoming traffic in a blind turn. Now, luckily enough, I guess this time of year, there's not a lot of traffic going through the mountains. So there weren't any cars coming his way. But that could have easily been a head-on collision. 2, always check the weather. You don't want to be driving halfway there and then have it downpour on you. Wet roads are absolutely awful on scooters, especially on turns. It's like you're driving on ice. And speaking of driving on ice, gravel is one of your worst enemies on a bike. Just be really careful on the turns especially, because if there's gravel on the ground and you're making that turn, depending on your speed, you can possibly slide out. I wouldn't recommend traveling at night, and I wouldn't recommend traveling in the cold. When you're traveling in the cold, your body will tense up and you'll start shivering, and because you're so tensed up, you can't function properly on a bike. Unless you're super experienced on a motorbike, I wouldn't recommend taking the ride up the mountain by yourself. It's always good to have someone there with you so you can watch out for each other. If you are riding in a group, it's safest to put the person that has the least amount of experience in the front of the group rather than the one with the most experience leading the pack. The person with the most experience should be in the back so they can keep an eye on those in the front rather than looking behind you or looking at your mirrors to see if they're okay. Also, in riding in groups, stay to the left. You don't want to ride side by side to each other. Always stay to the left of the road. You want to give each other enough room to move out of the way for oncoming traffic or oncoming objects in the road. Another good reason to stay on the left side of the road is because on the turns, a lot of trucks, buses, and cars tend to drive up onto your side of the road so they can make the turn easier for them. So the majority of the time you will see cars like halfway in your lane taking those turns, and you don't want to be in their way when they do that. So generally, the roads are actually really nice. We barely ran into any potholes. It was very clean, except for some areas where there was construction or whatnot. For the most part, the roads were clean and it was a really smooth ride. So there's one more major tip I want to give you guys, and it's called target fixation. I don't care how experienced you are of a rider. I've been riding for 4.5 years now, and this still happens to me. Target fixation is when you're looking at an object in the road and you start drifting towards that object. So a lot of people always say, like, every time I try to avoid a rock in the road, I hit it. It's because you're looking at the rock. Your body will naturally turn the bike into the rock without you even knowing. So when you're on a scooter, you always want to look ahead of you. Don't look 10 feet ahead of you, because where you're looking 10 feet ahead of you is where the bike is going to go, and it's not good for those turns. If you have a super sharp turn, look beyond the turn and your body will naturally steer the bike in that direction. Looking beyond the turn will help naturally guide you to making that turn perfectly. So what happens when you're looking only 10 feet ahead of you and you're trying to make a turn, you're going to be riding to that focal point that you have. So you're going to be making pivots rather than a smooth transition around the turn. This will also help you not drift into the other lane if you're looking further down the turn. So you guys are probably wondering about the gas situation or if anything happens to the bike. So along the way up, there are little mini self-service gas stations. And these gas stations are located in little mini villages along the way up. And these little mini villages were actually a godsend for us because my friend Eric actually ended up popping his rear tire somehow. We don't know how he did it, but the rear tire ended up going flat. We were kind of stranded for a second because we weren't sure what exactly we were gonna do. But we talked to someone local up the street just a little bit, and they told us to check out the little villages, which have like mechanics there. So we ended up driving back the opposite way to the village that we just passed, ended up searching through it. The locals there are really friendly and they'll point you in the right direction. So we just pointed to our tire and they saw that it was flat and they told us, you know, where to go until we found the mechanic. And the mechanic only charged us 180 baht to fix the tire. And then we were back on our way. All right, so with that being said, guys, let's get the show started. Hey guys, so it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning now, and we are getting ready to go to Pai. Just have my stuff getting packed up over here, getting my camera equipment, GoPro equipment and everything. And then we'll be heading out in a bit. I need to rent a bike, so I'm off to rent a new scooter today. Hopefully a little bit more powerful than the one I had originally. But we're gonna get that, and then as soon as we do that, we're gonna head out. It's gonna be a 3-hour drive to Pai, so we have our hostel all booked and everything already. We're staying at Spicy, so that should be fun. Alright guys, so we just got our scooters and you good? Yeah. We got our scooters and we're about to head out now. And we got 2 150cc bikes and 2 125cc bikes. And Tarkan is taking pictures of everything so he doesn't get charged for any accidental damages that incur while he's riding it.
You'll occur when he's riding.
About halfway up the mountain, and it turns out that Eric popped his tire, so I don't know where he is right now. He's somewhere down there, trying to see if there's anyone that can help us. Right now we're just taking a little snack break, and oh look, he's on his way back.
I have to go 1 kilo that way.
What? Okay, in the other direction. Do you want us to wait here? You want us to come with you?
With you. Well, we should go. We should all stay together.
All right, hold on. Let us. We'll come with you. All right, here we go. Going back in the other direction now. So we're stopped. We found a place to that's gonna fix his tire for 180 baht, and I guess that's also like a little lunch area, so we can sit down, possibly grab something to eat, and just stand under the shade for now. But so far, it's been an interesting experience. No, I'm kidding. It's been extremely fun. It looks like I finished up the bike, and it's brand new. Tires all good to go. No more pop tires.
Tire right over there.
Oh, from the inside. Yeah, they replaced the tube.
A brand new tire.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, not the brand new tire, just a tube inside.
Oh, the tube. Sorry. Yeah.
We're about 2 hours in now, right? About?
Yeah, we have an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, so we have an hour and 15 minutes left, but came to this stop and look at this. Absolutely beautiful. The scene. I'm gonna walk down there and check that out. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Probably about 10 minutes, maybe.
I wouldn't do that.
We were like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes?
It said like a while back, like 13 kilometers, so.
Okay, all right, so we're close by, but we jumped onto this little gold mine here. I think it's pretty cool. We get a bunch of like, I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna go check it out. Let's see. Okay, so we just arrived at our hostel here and claiming our beds. Check it out. Tarkon's already got his. But I'm up here. It's a cool little place. Bathrooms. Wish I brought sandals. Okay, guys, so I don't think I'm gonna be carrying this camera around with me anymore for today, but I'm gonna go circle around Pai and check out what there is to see and get back to you. All right, so it is almost what, 9 in the morning now?
10:30.
Oh, all right, it's almost 10:30, and we're about to make a hike up this canyon place, and then also jump in a
Waterfall.
Yep, jump in a waterfall. So it should be fun. All right, so we're about to begin our little hike. Don't know how long this goes for, but it's pretty sweet. Check it out. My hands are all dusty from the climb. Alright, look at this. Look at these paths. They are a little sketchy, so if you're afraid of heights like me, you shouldn't do this.
You also shouldn't video blog while you.
Well, yeah, good point. Very good point.
Nice work. Back on the other side. Yay.
Alright, so we just made it back out of the canyon. Fair warning, you get really dirty. Like, everything is dirty. I'm covered in dust. My camera is covered in dust. I don't know how I'm gonna clean it, but dust and sweat. Because we decided to go on like the hottest day ever. On our way to the waterfall next, and wash all this off, and then hot springs later in the day. So see you guys at the falls. Okay, so we made it to one of the locations, but I think this is a smaller waterfall. I'm not sure if we can swim in it. Actually, I think we can, because I saw some people come out with wet clothing, but yeah, and again, some people sunbathing right behind me.
Check this out.
What do we find?
The bug is dead, but it's being moved by ants.
Oh, so it looks like it's... That's poor butterfly getting carried on by ants. This is probably gonna be really dumb of me to bring my camera with me, but I want to get this shot over here. Not wearing swim trunks. Yeah, I got this with it. So, all right, let's not drop it, huh? On the way down, I clapped my hands in the water again. That hurt. When I jumped, my toes hit the ground. I wasn't expecting that. No one warned me.
You're supposed to do a cannonball.
Well, I pencil dived. Not a good idea. All right, so we are on to our next waterfall or the hot springs next, right? Yep. All right. So just getting packed up and see you there. Okay, so we just made it to the hot springs. The guys are already jumping in. I'm just getting my situation situated with all my gear and everything, but heading over to hot springs in a second. I wonder if it's actually hot.
Oh, it is.
Is it? You touched it already? Or?
I haven't touched it yet. They touched it and they both said it was amazing, so.
Where are they?
They're in the water now.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. Let's go.
Got them. All right. Yeah. Get some video.
It's like, look.
Well, here's the hot spring, guys. I've never been in one.
This tree is softer than ice cream bread.
Alright. I'm gonna go stick my toes in there. It's nice? Alright. After the hot springs, I decided to put all my equipment away because I really wanted to enjoy Pai to the fullest without having to lug all my equipment everywhere. And I had to leave the next day early morning. Pai's a very scenic area and relaxing area to be. A lot of fun people and a lot of fun things to do. So I highly recommend that if you're in Chiang Mai, take that 3-hour trip to Pai one way or another and spend a couple days there. I actually have a couple friends that are actually heading back to Pai next week because they enjoyed it so much. And that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this was able to help those who are traveling from Chiang Mai to Pai a little bit. So as always, follow your passion and stay committed. Until next time. Alright, so we are on our way back in the AM. It left at like 6:30 or so-ish. And I wish I could have got you guys some shots, but this place is, when you're above the clouds, it's a beautiful view, but now we're entering the clouds, so as you can see, everything is super foggy. It's ridiculous. It's pretty cool though. But my God.